Hey, this is the Headset Historian, and this is hopefully the last video I'll be doing on Quest 3 head straps, as I think I might have found the one that I'm going to keep using going forward into the future. And that is the new head strap from BoboVR. It's the M3 Mini head strap. So, this head strap is your kind of Quest Elite style head strap. It's the flat one. So if you saw my video earlier on the Albica battery strap, it's very similar to that one. This one doesn't have a battery bank built in, but there is an option for adding one, so we'll look at that in a wee bit. But the main thing about this one is you'll see that it arches up in the middle, and that is a big selling point of this one because it doesn't cut into your ears, which was the issue that I had with the Albica head strap. It was unfortunately unusable for me because of my monster flappy ears. So although I would say my ears aren't actually that dramatically large, so I think probably a lot of people would have that issue. But yeah, so this is the box that it comes in. It's the usual, you know, nice packaging. We'll not focus on that too much. Here's the head strap itself. So there's no battery in this one, so of course it feels a lot lighter than other head straps I've shown off. But I'll show you how you can add a battery in a wee bit. But you'll see there's the angled part here so that your ears don't touch it, and it works great. My ears don't touch this, there's good clearance, so I finally have a head strap of this style that doesn't cut my ears. And it also, in kind of typical BoboVR fashion these days, it comes with this honeycomb gel sort of cushioning, or it comes with your typical plush, you know, the leather cushioning. So I go for the honeycomb gel because, like I mentioned in other videos, I have fine hair and head straps tend to slip up, so this does alleviate that quite well. And it does have a good kind of, it comes in quite a bit, so it does cup under your head well, which I think is probably the most important part. If you have thick cushions coming out, or if this doesn't articulate and it's just flat coming out, then it'll always be, you know, at a curve kind of parallel to your head, and it'll end up sliding up. So the fact that this goes back the way it does and it cups in underneath means that this actually does stay at the back of my head, which is something that it's been an issue on a lot of head straps I've had, so it's great to finally have a head strap that doesn't have that issue. As for the cushioning here, it's good, you know, it's it feels like decent quality. I will say the Albica, for example, that head strap I reviewed recently, I prefer its cushioning because it's more firm. This type of very soft cushioning is fine, but I find the firm cushioning does just help put the weight to the top of your head a bit more. But it's a very minor thing, and you can of course always replace this head strap if you want, but it's not enough of a thing where I would actually bother replacing the head strap. I'm perfectly happy with this top part here. So yeah, it has the usual, you know, ratcheting mechanism that you'd expect. It's not as high quality sounding as the Albica one. The Albica one, the build quality in general was really good, but this head strap, it's very light, which is not a bad thing, you know, but it does feel a wee bit maybe flimsier than the other Bobo products. It is called the Mini head strap. I'm not really sure why it's called Mini, to be totally honest, because it's just a normal head strap in terms of size. It's not like the head strap itself is particularly smaller than other head straps. But yeah, let me pop it onto the Quest and we'll talk about it a little bit more then. Well, actually, sorry, before I pop it onto the Quest, I should talk about the battery. And there is a first party, as in Bobo themselves sell a battery dock. I believe it's called the B2 battery dock. And you can see here there's 3 screws here, and this part you can screw out and pop out, and then they have a battery dock. I'll show it on screen right now, that clips in here, and it's that same removable, replaceable, rechargeable battery bank that we've seen on like the M2 and the M3. So again, people have had the issue with, you know, that only charges up to 80%, it doesn't charge up to 100%. But again, that's not an issue for me. It charges to 80%, it keeps it at 80% until the battery runs out, and you can pop on another one then. So I've never personally found an issue with it ever running out. So I didn't actually go for the official B2 battery dock for 2 reasons. One, it was a bit more expensive then I was willing to pay, because I don't really use the replaceable function. One, battery's enough for me, and two, there was a delay of a few weeks in shipping, so I ended up getting this devastation power bank for the Oculus Quest 2. It's a very generic sort of battery bank that you can just clip on to any headset, and I find this one to be, you know, it does the job. It's very similar in terms of power output as the Bobo M2, so it kind of keeps it around that 80% as well. But this one was cheap. It arrived, you know, the next day, so I figured I'd go for that. And someone had already made, for this dock here, there's a 3D printable part on Thingiverse. I'll share a link below for that. But what I ended up doing was I 3D printed this adapter, and then I just used some very strong double-sided tape and just stuck this on, so it's really solidly on there, so there's no issue. And I'll show you quickly how easy it is to just pop this on to this head strap. So it's just a matter of removing these 3 screws. So we'll reuse these screws for the 3D printable part. So it's obvious. Can you hear that? Okay. So that's the 3D printable part, and then you just clip this back in here. It's just kind of a rubber friction clip. I don't know if that's the right term. The BoboVR Mini strap itself comes with this cable management clip in the box, regardless of whether you got the battery bank or not. So that's a very nice addition, and I just clip that on there, no problem. So now I have a functioning battery bank head strap, and you can see that tape, it's very strong, so there's no issue there. I'm not worried about it falling off. It's genuinely very strong. So now it's, you know, a fully functioning battery strap, but also it's not cutting my ears, and it gives me this front forward clamping style that I was looking for. As I mentioned before, the Halo strap style or the Quest Pro strap style is absolutely brilliant. I love it, but I like it more for like AR or for productivity. For gaming, I find the Elite straps, just because they clamp it directly onto your face and it's coming from the back of your head, it's just, there's less inertia, so it feels like the head strap isn't wobbling about at all. So last part is pop it in here, this part of the head strap. And I will say BoboVR, they left a little bit extra material here, so it curves up under this so much easier than other head straps. Other head straps, it's, you know, you're fighting against the Velcro to get it around this loop. So, you know, obviously you're only really wanting to be doing this once and then you should be done. So it's not a huge issue, but it does make the installation just quite a bit nicer, and it's just, they've clearly, you know, thought about it a bit more. Then you just pop it onto the arms, so you can kind of, it's a bit different than other ones. It's not just a case of clipping it straight on. You kind of have to slide it in like that, and then it clips on. It does feel very secure. I do see, you know, it covers these speaker ports a little bit, but I haven't found it being any issue. And the only other thing is it does cause the speakers to tilt up slightly, you know, rather than just being directly pointed at your ears. But again, it's such a slight angle that I haven't noticed any audio difference whatsoever. And then just pop back on the facial interface. And there you have it. Plug this in. So this is with, you know, this kind of custom 3D printed one, but if you want, you can get the official one, which will be a lot tidier, and it'll, you know, it'll look the part, and it'll have the interchangeable battery if you need more juice. But yep, it's hard for me to show the balance, but the balance is very, very good. And it's, you can see that angle coming up there, so it doesn't touch my ears. And this is the most comfortable I've had the Quest 3 to date. Having it, you know, like for active games, I mean, it's the most comfortable, like just having it, you know, nice and tight against your face so that it ends up not having any moving about or anything. It feels great. I feel like I could play for ages with this, and the quality of comfort with a strap like this with the Quest 3 compared to the Quest 2 or other headsets is just phenomenal. I will say Halo style Quest Pro style head straps for me still are slightly more comfortable, especially when you use it without a facial interface. But if I'm playing an active game, then this is the one I want to go for. So this is my default strap now, as I mostly just play active games these days, shooters and things like that. So I keep this on the vast majority of the time, and then sometimes switch over to the BoboVR M3. And yeah, BoboVR really are killing it. You know, I think they're doing a great job. So this is their newest product, and it's great. And it wasn't that expensive. I paid about £30 for it, so that's maybe like $45 US or maybe $40 US. So, you know, obviously it doesn't have a battery bank, but this battery bank I paid a tenner for it. So you you can get a pretty good battery bank for quite cheap. And yeah, I can't complain. I think this is a great head strap. I'm very, very happy with it. It's got great comfort. It doesn't touch my ears, and it kind of nails everything. The only thing I'll say, the only small thing, is this grey and this white. Why is it? You know, I guess maybe they started designing this before they got a Quest 3. I'm not sure, but that like, I like this color. You know, it's kind of like a cool retro grey, like a PS1 or something. But that grey against this white, it doesn't look great. And you know, this white ironically is pretty spot on with this. So if this was just white, it would look a lot more professional. It would look a lot more like a first party accessory, just looking a lot nicer and tidier. But you know, that's a very, very minor nitpick. So out of all the head straps I've tried so far, not to shill BoboVR, and just to be transparent, I've bought all of these my own money. I've never gotten anything for free in terms of head straps or accessories. So the BoboVR Mini strap, that's this one here, with a battery bank, is my favorite head strap for active stuff. And then the M2 or M3 Pro is my favorite for more general AR use, or you know, mixed reality use rather, and kind of more monitor replacement sort of stuff. But yeah, brilliant head strap, good price, and I'm very happy with it. So I think that's my head strap journey finished there. Maybe if someone wants to send me one to test out, I'll test it out. But other than that, I'm done buying head straps. I've got the head strap that I want to keep using, so that's me finished. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully this was useful, and yeah, hope you all have a great day. Take care.